For today's story, we take our attention to the Wisconsin Supreme Court, in which the Chief Justice, who is conservative, seems to be having some problems with the more left-leaning members of their associate justices. So there is a bit of an ideological split in the Wisconsin Supreme Court right now that's leading to all kinds of fun shenanigans, to the point where the Chief Justice of the Wisconsin Supreme Court has accused their fellow members of effectively staging a coup. So yeah, we got all kinds of interesting stuff going on here in Wisconsin. Let's learn a little bit more about this Cheese State massacre. The conservative Chief Justice of the Wisconsin Supreme Court on Monday told their liberal majority in a scathing email that they had staged a coup and conducted an illegal experiment when they voted to weaken her powers and fire the directors of the state courts. So she's like, wait a second, I'm supposed to be Chief Justice. That comes with the administrative roles. I was elected to this role. This is my job. And they're like, oh, nah, fam, we have enough votes to overrule you. So we have just voted to remove your powers. And we are also firing the directors of the state courts, even though that's kind of your job. So the Chief Justice over here, kind of pissed. Yep. The Chief Justice, in 2 emails obtained by the Associated Press, stated that firing and hiring a new state court director was illegal, and ordering the interim state court director to stop signing orders without knowledge and approval. So who is the director of the state courts right now is apparently in disputes, because who has the power to hire and fire this person? So the Chief Justice is all over like, okay, this person who thinks that they're the court director, I don't think they're the court director, so there is a fun. The Chief Justice writing, you're making a mess of the judiciary, the court's an institution for years to come. This must stop. I have no confidence in the recent hostile takeover and chaotic effect this has on the court, staff, and overall stable functioning of the courts. Liberals, for their part, gained a 4-3 majority on the court when the Justice Perweskowitz began her 10-year term after winning election in April. Conservatives had held the majority for 15 years prior to that. So, the Wisconsin Supreme Court ideology flips from conservative to liberal, and the conservative Chief Justice says, you are using your new majority to undermine my role as Chief Justice and basically throw me out of office, even though I'm still within my term. In the first week of power, the liberal justices voted to fire the state court director, hire the news director, and create a committee to do much of the work that the Chief Justice had previously done, a move that significantly weakened the Chief Justice. She was elected by the conservative majority to a second 2-year term as chief in May. So she was elected in May. There was another election in November. So for the next year and a half, there's a bit of a conflict. And so they're like, okay, my role is to do this administrative stuff. And the liberals' roles are like, nope, we're going to create a committee and take it outside the Chief Justice role. No, wait a second, that's my role. How fun. Justice Dillette, who's one of the 4 liberals, responded to the email by saying she was disappointed that the Chief Justice was communicating to the media with deeply inappropriate and at times partisan tone and tenure. The conflict is real. DeLay defended the actions of the majority of justice, saying everything they've done is constitutional, which how do you determine if something is constitutional, right? How do you determine if something's constitutional? Well, one of the ways you typically do that is by asking the Supreme Court. Oh, wait a second. We're the Supreme Court now. So it is constitutional because we say it is. Yep, that's usually how that goes. We're simply creating a process so that a majority of the court can effectively work in the face of intransigent and uncollegial chief who apparently insists on public debate about issues for political purpose rather than allowing the court majority to function as it always had, DeLay said. So no love lost between this associate justice and this Chief Justice. Fun times. On Monday, they sent an email saying the court director, an email telling them to stop signing orders under their name. Chief Justice writing to the court director saying, it's come to my attention that you've been signing my reserve judge orders without my knowledge and approval. You never asked for my permission. You do not have my permission. Stop. These orders are in my name. You have no lawful authority to sign them. If you sign anything else under my name, please advise immediately. It's going just that well in Wisconsin right now. Where the Chief Justice basically has to beg the court administrator to stop doing things. The court director, in their part, responded to the Chief Justice in another email obtained by the AP, saying that she vehemently disagrees the appointment was illegal. So the court director's all over here like, no, I don't respect your authority. She also defended her action signing orders and signing the reserve judges, saying state law gives her the authority. The chief administrator, writing to the chief judge, saying, I have legal authority and responsibility as well as moral obligations to sign authority. So it's going just that well. The chief justice, in their part, said in response to questions from the AP that in order not to create problems at the circuit court, she was reissuing the orders under her own name. The chief justice also said that sending a cover letter saying that the court administrator would not allow staff to send. The chief justice said she would advertise nationally for a new director of the state courts, even as DeLay stood by the hiring of the court administrator. So apparently we're looking for a new director of the state courts. Maybe I should apply for that. That'd be good. The chief justice sent a scathing email to all the justices, once again accusing the liberals of acting illegally, causing harm to the court's internal operations and public perception. The chief justice refused to schedule weekly meetings with what she called unconstitutionally invented committee created by the liberal justices. So there's some committee over here that they're like, oh, they're going to do the roles as chief justice. And like, no, they're not. I'm going to do the roles. Chief Justice writing, again, I will not condone the lawless destruction of the Constitution, the judiciary, or the courts. This is nothing short of an unprecedented coup. For 40 years, the role of Chief Justice has been understood and respected. Your short-term goals will cause long-term, irreparable damage to the judiciary. What a historical disgrace. The popcorn is real in Wisconsin. Get your butter, my friend, and butter that popcorn because it is super duper real. The Associate Justice DeLay, for their part, responded to the email by saying it was the Chief Justice, Ziegler, not the majority of justices who's to blame. Let it be crystal clear, Associate Justice DeLay said. The attempt to obstruct the proper business of the court and furtherance of justice comes from you. How exciting. The attempt to obstruct the proper business of the court and furtherance of justice comes from you. How very, very exciting. Thus, that brings us to the end of this case dealing with the Wisconsin Supreme Court, which seems to be in a state of upheaval, as there is apparently a fight between the Chief Justice and the Associate Justices. The Chief Justice saying that the liberal justices have improperly circumvented the role of Chief Justice, appointed a committee to do the things the Chief Justice is supposed to do, and even gone so far as to appoint an administrator who is signing orders in the name of the Chief Justice that she hasn't authorized. So all kinds of fun things happening over here in Wisconsin. And at least for the moment, that brings us to the end of discussion of this story.